Japan, pot 38. He listens carefully, absorbs whatever he can, and asks questions, but rarely challenges or shows off his own knowledge. If anything, he underplays his own understanding of the issue. The scope of the government information gathering is breathtaking. At the highest standard at the height of the student turmoil in various countries during Vietnam War, Japan's Economic Planning Agency dispatched an official to America to talk with the radical American economist about various potential crises of capitalism. The purpose was to enable the Economic Planning Agency to be more sensitive to potential contingencies in drawing up its multi-year plans. A Japanese-speaking American student, the only foreigner on a mission sponsored by the Japanese government to consider developments in a third country, was detached for part of the time to interview various local residents about their attitudes towards Japan in the mid-1970s. When it appeared that Japan might be moving towards a coalition government, a mission was sent to Europe to study the conditions under which coalition governments of the European countries since World War II became immobilized and what kind of problems this created. The purpose to explore a mechanism for avoiding such mobilization if coalition governments came to Japan. Think tanks, maximum information at minimal cost. Japanese government agencies have long supplemented their own research institutions with support to a small number of private institutions in order to obtain more specialized, detailed information. Some of these outside institutes like the Institute for Developing Economies, with several hundred researchers studying other parts of Asia, have a staff and a collection of current materials as large as any research institute in their field in the world. However, in the 1960s, the complexity of problems facing Japan multiplied. The Japanese moved to create many more institutions to cope with the knowledge explosion in characteristic fashion. Large numbers of the Japanese delegations traveled abroad to study foreign research institutes and then advised the optimal development of Japanese think tanks. The think tanks became a new fad and dozens of new ones sprang up. As the proverbial phrase goes, like bamboo shoots after the spring rain, before long there was even a federation of think tanks. Japanese observers concluded that the American research centers were often too independent from the original financing organs and hence less optimally responsive to the request for relevant information. Therefore, in Japan, each research center is assigned to a certain ministry which controls the annual appropriation and supervises information collection. Government agencies also help sponsor other research centers with a small core of permanent staff capable of expanding through short-term contracts in order to obtain special kinds of information in their field of expertise. By American standard, many of these research organizations conduct relatively little basic research and their studies lack originality, analytic depth, and thoroughness, but goal of these research group is not to be original.